Well, every time I ask God for an answer, He always ends up responding. And last night I was, okay, God, you got to tell me what it is I'm supposed to be doing because it doesn't feel like I'm on the right track. And there's three people that kind of help me see what it is that I'm supposed to do. God works through other people. One guy was asking where my workouts were, and I kind of know I'm off track, kind of know I've got to take a lot more care of my body. I know I'm having sleeping problems, mostly because I'm gaining too much of this oil spill information, and probably when I go to bed, it's replaying in my head so much that it's affecting my sleep. So I'm going to try and get back on this P90X workout in the mornings. And the goal is definitely to just really enjoy um, what it feels like to, when you work out, everybody tends to hate it. But I want to really program my brain to enjoy what my body feels like when it's working out. And getting in shape, and how good does that feel? So I'll be making more of my videos the way I started off with and getting back on track with that tomorrow morning. And walking really definitely helps. I live in a beautiful area. I've got a little camcorder, so I think I'm going to take little shots of the area I live in. I generally, when I go for a walk, I go for a good 2 hours. So that's really good for me, and that really gets your brain out of yourself and into nature and enjoying what's out there, and it gives you a different perspective on life. So I'm going to get back into that. Again, this whole channel is more of my own diary, because I do think that we live by example, and there's an awful lot of information out there, and I've been spreading a lot of it. If it helps everybody, good. If it's not, a lot of it is information that I reflect on myself. It's like a diary. You put it out there, and then you can see where your own head is at. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to post the names of the people that really sort of inspired me and put me on the right direction. One of them, when I just the video on this is how God speaks, somebody had wrote a comment there that it was really inspirational to them, and for me to keep it up. And it's like, that was the message I needed to hear, is that no, focus on doing this. um, and that's what it's all about, is doing something that you're good at to help other people. It's not to get other people to, hey, listen to me and follow my advice. It's putting yourself out there and seeing if you can, if it helps anybody else out. And I don't believe it's all about profit. I think, the universe takes care of you. And I think we're headed towards a global depression. So we're going to be in a shift of doing things. So when I ask the universe for something and other people are focused on profit, 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 they think that I'm not really successful at what I'm doing, because I'm not attracting what they think I should be wanting. And what I want is completely different than what the majority of the planet happens to be wanting, because we're all got, I'm convinced, OCD. We've got these obsessive, compulsive thoughts and wiring in our brains that really control our actions and behaviors. Which brings me down to one other point I want to talk about, is this protest of not purchasing anything for the last week of this month. I think we do have to take control. I don't think that fighting is the answer, because you're only going to get yourself killed or hurt, and it doesn't solve anything. That's like what evil wants. Evil wants you fighting. Evil wants you at war. And the God I talk to says you got a hell of a lot more power than fighting. And it's focus your direction on everything that you do love in life, and then you create more of a universe filled with the love of the things that you love. If you focus all your attention on all the negative and fighting and war and we gotta fight the evil, that's what evil wants. And the more you do that, the more you're going to create that, and you're only going to destroy yourself. But we do have power, and that's what part of this protest is about. Um, don't buy anything for 1 week. We're going to be in a depression. There's going to be nothing available. So we may as well sort of start getting used to dealing with less, because less is going to be available to us. And this one girl who was one of mine, she really inspired me a lot today. Four Eyes to See is her channel. Please go visit it. But I was reading some of the comments on there, and one of the comments was these merchants, small businesses need to survive. And while, we don't buy anything, yes, we could be putting some people out of work, but they brought up a valid point that they can't even sell things that are made in the USA or made in Canada. So what I'm suggesting, we sort of change a little bit of this protest and only buy locally. And by locally, I don't mean your 7-Elevens that are owned by a big corporation that's owned by one person locally. All of our big corporations are owned by people locally. You have to start learning and distinguishing what are your small little businesses, the little guy that's supporting you. And what they were saying is that I wish people in our area would make something so I can sell it, because they can't sell anything that's even made locally. So this is a way that, okay, if we're going to control what it is we buy and what stuff we buy, this is the transformation that we need to make. This is how you beat evil. Is evil can only get rich and wealthy off of the stuff we buy. So we need to buy different stuff. And don't buy stuff that you think is going to make you happy. Buy just what you need for that week. And these local merchants, start putting it out there in your community that you want people in your community to do some labor making some stuff that people need. If you are the merchant, then you know what people need and you know what you can sell. So you need to start putting that out in your community, that you need people to make things at home. You need local farmers to support your local business. Even we definitely need clothes to wear, but all of them are made in third world countries. I mean, they need to learn how to support themselves and their own communities, but we need to be doing this within our own communities. So that means, instead of making it as the top designer, why not be the top designer in your local area? If we had more people sewing all the clothes we need in our local area, how many people in our communities would be having work? There's a lot of people that want to be designers. There's little things like that that we absolutely do need. I mean, making the material. We buy all our materials from other countries, yet we can make this ourselves. So we need to start being aware of what it is we purchase. So that's sort of like a little bit of change to this do not buy any stuff for 1 week, the last week of this month. Get yourself prepared, and let's just support our local small little shops that are supporting us. If you're local area is supporting you, then you support them. That's the change we need to start heading into. And these local businesses need to start getting on the bandwagon and supporting this type of protest. And we need to support them. And this is only the beginning. This is only an introduction. We can build on this. Peace out.